guys are often dismissed as technophobes, but yet they would be spending money on Avatar 20 years before it would be seen in the theater, and no one even know how they're going to project this movie, and they're investing in enormous amounts of dollars in the technology required to make that movie, and making a bet on something like Titanic when they did, at the dollars that they did. So these are not folks who are nervous about spending or technology, and you have to, and so don't be very dismissive of either of sides of that continuum. I think a lot of people in Hollywood bet that Netflix would never get the creative right. And we, for a long time, bet that the studios would never get the technology right. And the truth is, we both have kind of figured it out. So figure out on what end of the continuum you want to work. And more importantly, figure out the thing that you're great at in it. And while you're young, try a lot of things. Because I think people give really bad advice around, follow your passion. But figure out what you're really good at. And you will get passionate about it. And the only way to do that is while you're young to try things. To try, come in, get entry level in certain places that you just want to see how you want to try it out. And I think that's true in our industry or almost in any industry, is just to figure out what you're good at. So we all have gifts, we all have things that we're not, that we're better at in varying degrees. And eventually you figure it out and say, oh, I'm better than this than anybody else. That feels good. And that drives a lot of passion and excellence. So.
Ted, thank you so much for spending time with us.
I'm going to ask you guys to stay in your seats while we do a quick close. Ted, again, congratulations. Thank you so much for spending the day with us, and safe travels. All right? Was this day okay? Just so you know, for those of you who are not veterans of the Pulse Conference, this is how we used to do it every year until the pandemic, right? And since then, we've been trying to find a location to host it at about this size and all this other stuff. But this actually feels like it did back, in 2019 or 2020, right? So it's so great to kind of have the Pulse event feel like the Pulse event again. I thanked a bunch of organizations earlier today. I just want to thank a few people before we go and get recepted. One, I want to thank my team. So Christian, Michelle, the rest of the Center for Media, Entertainment, and Sports team. I want to thank our production team, BBDR. They did an incredible job today. It was not easy with all the media and all that stuff. I want to make sure that I thank our presenters who have all really, not just been generous with their time, but they've been pretty candid, right? This is one of the cool things about being at UCLA. Somehow there's like this kind of stuff in the air that makes people tell the truth. It's really nice. So thank you so much to all of you for sharing your wisdom and your time. Thanks to Amaze VR. How many of you got a chance to do the demo? Nice. And thanks to Creator Up. And thanks to all of you for coming and spending your day with us, because we really do appreciate it, and we hope that you take the time out to get to know each other, talk to each other, especially like when we go to the reception. The connections that we forge here can really make a difference going forward for your careers and also for the industry. So I really encourage you to go ahead and make sure that you make those connections today. Last thing I want to say is that we're not done. We are partnering with Anderson Forecast on an event March 13th. March 13th. So if you haven't already seen any promotion for that, that will focus specifically on AI, innovation, and the economics of the entertainment industry and what we're looking at going forward. So for those of you who are interested in that sort of thing, March 13th, all right? With that, thanks again, and let's drink.